Good morning, good morning, good morning. And how are you on this lovely Thursday morning? It is my pleasure to come to you from the studios of Win FM here on 98.9 as we bring you this morning episode of Island Tea. What is in your cup? What are you drinking this morning? I had mint tea, mint tea, and then I had the local basil mint tea as well. Yeah, and in eons, I had cornflakes. I don't really.
You starting back with this basil mint thing again?
Yeah, yes, of course. I had the mint, so the normal mint, and then I had the bush, right? Because I dry mines, and then I had the basil mint tea. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I had cornflakes. So when I'm thinking, my system really had to crave cornflakes for me to have cornflakes because I do not like eating cornflakes, and I have to eat cornflakes fast because I hate when the crunch goes.
I don't particularly like cornflakes. They're so plain, you know.
I don't buy that.
Yeah.
Or if I do crave something, but I haven't eaten cornflakes in a while. When I had those cornflakes craving, I would buy the Lucky Charms, but then after a while, my poor mouth gets
cut up, right?
Yeah, from the marshmallows. How did you know? So I don't really buy them.
I figured.
Yeah. So good morning to the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis, the regional and international diaspora, to our usual listeners, our new listeners, to those of you who will join us today. We look forward to you. Thank you for joining us. Good morning, Jamsta. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. Well, I had tea yesterday when you weren't here. I was telling you about this echinacea, this black tea with echinacea in it. Yeah, I had some of that with green tea, and I'm having coffee today though.
Oh no, I haven't had coffee yet for the day. I'm trying to cut it out totally.
But they're saying, I mean, well, we kind of always knew this, but said coffee adds zest to your life. The problem is
everything one time it add years,
no, it's
next
good for
time
you.
it's
No,
bad.
because
I'm tired of.
I don't think anyone ever said coffee was bad. I more think. But this
it's bad when you have certain conditions. It says it encourages growth of the condition, etc.
Coffee?
Etc. Yeah. When you think coffee should melt it and make it dead. No, that's not the case. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm wondering what you mean.
And too much coffee can stain your teeth and oh Lord, everything.
Well,
just
I always try to rinse my mouth after.
Yeah, because we have to get the acid off the teeth.
Well, it's not even the acid. It's the stuff that could stain your teeth.
I do it to get the acid off.
The acid.
And I won't brush my teeth after coffee either, because I ain't trying to kill my enamel in my good years.
Well, coffee has more going for it than against it. You know.
When I read the pros and the cons, sometimes I'm like, look, listen here now. I trying to stop, but it doesn't work sometimes.
Like I always say, in our culture, coffee is sort of adjacent to alcohol the way people view it, which is very weird to me.
How is it weird? How is it adjacent to alcohol?
Meaning the way they treat it, the way they treat a lot of older people treat coffee, the way they view coffee.
Like something bad?
Yeah, like it's like alcohol. It's almost like it's alcohol.
But a lot of the elders,
in the sense that they all of their anxiety is focused on the caffeine rather than all the other good things. I mean, because tea has caffeine too, but tea has a lot of good antioxidants like coffee, and in fact, coffee has more.
Yeah, because you could turn coffee into a scrub with some honey and some sugar for your face. Yeah,
and I haven't even gone there yet, you know?
Yeah, coffee does a lot, but then it still has the bad side. Yeah.
Well, there is a drink. There's a non-alcoholic drink called Sentia, right? Which is on sale in the UK, which makes you drunk without alcohol. It makes you feel nice. It's
and it's non-alcoholic.
It's non-alcoholic. Right? Yeah. What happened is the active ingredient it activates a part of the brain that responds to alcohol and gives you that nice buzz. You're not necessarily drunk, but you feel, you have a beer or you have a glass of wine, you have a nice feel good buzz going, and so it activates a part of the brain, but there's no alcohol involved. And it seems as though the authorities are sort of figuring out how they're going to deal with it in terms of, let's say, they were saying, well, you can't tell somebody if someone, let's say, had a lot of this and they're quote unquote drunk. You really can't say that they're drunk on alcohol, because they're not drunk on alcohol. They might be
So what are they drunk on?
Well, because their brain has been fooled into thinking. Let me see if I'll find the article.
The alcohol test, it shows that it turns up to be alcohol when it wasn't alcohol.
No, they'll know there's no alcohol in the system. But
so then why are you so big woozy? There's something odd in there.
No, okay. I'm gonna look for that. Since last week actually I saw it and I was like,
that's weird. Because remember, when those things goes into your body, it's turned into sugar most of the times, and then maybe that sugar might start smelling like alcohol, although you say it's not alcohol, but who knows? Well, Jamsta was looking at the news before we continue on that vein, and I'm thinking Mr. Biden is having the worst outgoing presidency of all time, from one thing to the other, to the other, to the other. And for the folks that live in Southern California, oh my gosh, I empathize. When you see people come out of their millions and thousands of dollar cars and head out on foot, they realize that these things are just material and can be replaced, and their lives are valuable. I'm looking at mansions being caught on fire. I see James Woods lost his house because of that. Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, it's a lot. I empathize with them. And, yep. And then they're shooting. I see there's a Yellowstone shooter spewed racist hate before. It's just a lot. Like, he's going through plenty. The Cybertruck where the guy committed suicide. May his soul rest in peace. May he find comfort. I hope he asks for forgiveness in the last moments. The truck plowing into folks. Huh?
How do you ask forgiveness just before killing yourself?
Okay.
You're asking for
No. he blew up, or maybe he had some time to say, Lord, I didn't mean to, but life is hard, and could you take me? Could you forgive me? Maybe he didn't die right away, depending on the blast. The Lord's merciful. He forgives. He didn't want that to happen, but maybe the individuals couldn't fight the wills of the devil. Yeah.
But yeah, Biden, pretty unlucky.
Yeah, he's having a
he had to
exit.
He had to cancel his final state trip was supposed to be to Italy, and he had to cancel because of the fire.
Too much is happening. Yeah. James
Meanwhile,
Woods gets emotional about losing homes in LA wildfire.
Meanwhile, Double I is coming in, threatening to annex Canada, the Panama Canal, and Greenland, and
telling them to basically dismiss the hush money trial, or asking them. Yeah. But I don't think he's asking. I think he's telling them dismiss that. How does
you didn't ask what Double I stands for? Why you didn't ask?
No, because it relates to a person.
Incoming idiot.
It's related to a person that I really don't necessarily that part.
But yeah, I mean, I
don't understand how you could have so many charges and you're still coming in to rule people, and you're gonna want them to uphold the law you broke so many times.
I've lost all respect for Americans after electing that guy again.
Oh boy, and they might do it again and again. So you just gotta pray for them, because they're gonna need the prayers. Everybody's probably thinking it's gonna be easy peasy once he makes his grand appearance and return to presidency, but I don't think so at all.
My friend says, what is going on?
What?
Boy, my friend says many times my questions on Island Tea are baffling to him. I'm wondering, what did I say?
What did you say?
I don't know. I guess he'll fill me in.
Oh, okay.
My good friend.
Okay. Oh, maybe he means your double eyes.
No, he says, I can tell. So I'll try to figure out what I said. When he said, I can tell many times your observations. Yeah, I don't know. I guess he'll fill me in. So where was I? I was looking for that drunk without being drunk thing. Where is it? Let me see if I can find it. I actually last week I was thinking, boy, I hope this doesn't become a thing here, because we have a tendency to overdo things and think, oh, this is the next cool thing, and then next thing you know, we have people. I mean, it's like with Red Bull. I
Red
feel
Bull is not even that popular anymore. People thought it worked.
Well, that's the thing, because we were this.
Now it's Rude Boy.
We were this faddist kind of people. It's like we jump on something. Oh, that's not cool. I mean, I remember when Hypnotic was cool. Remember? You know Hypnotic, right?
The pink liqueur.
Aquamarine. So some. Yeah.
Did I say pink?
Yeah.
Oh no, I don't mean pink. I mean the turquoise thing.
Turquoise, yeah. That might be better.
My bad. See?
Yeah.
I don't care for it either, so I name it whatever.
I like it, but then
it's
all about what's cool. It's all about what's cool. It's like I was reading an article last night which was saying how 10 things that people think are cool, fashionable, and I'm like, I don't want that on the list. Actually, when I saw this, I stopped reading the article because, reading in public is fashionable, really? When did reading become a fashion or not a fashion?
Well,
it just seemed like an odd observation to me. I was like, really? Reading is fashionable?
You might be surprised because
in public, I mean, what are you, a Pharisee? You want people to see you reading?
Well, when the tablet came out and the phones came out, we're always on them. We're reading something. So maybe that's why they say it's fashionable.
It just seemed
prior to that, you may see a few people with books, but you look at those people like, oh my God, why are you reading? But now everybody, when the tablet came, when the Kindle came out, you see how many people all of a sudden had them on the trains, on the buses, on the byways, and the highways.
Not so much now?
No. Out of style. Tablet now, or the smaller thing in your hand, your telly.
That's a good point, I guess.
So it was a big thing. Everybody had to have a Kindle. Yeah.
Okay, so let me see. I did a search and I was like, eight articles come up. So this one says world's first non-alcoholic drink that can get you tipsy, quote unquote, set to rival the real thing. Does dry? Oh yeah, this is actually the first one I read. I think. Does dry January still count if your non-alcoholic drink is getting you tipsy? That's what a lot of people will be asking in the coming weeks, as the world's first booze-free drink that can still make you feel the effects of alcohol is legally available to buy and could soon rival the real thing. Sentia Spirits are natural, low sugar, and vegan drinks that aim to mimic alcoholic drinks but without the hangover the morning after. The spirits are currently available in 3 forms: Sentia Gold, Sentia Black, and Sentia Red. I feel like I'm doing an ad for Sentia. Anyway, and can be drunk neat or with a mixer. Gold claims to be a mood booster and has a citrus flavor backed by spicy notes. Black is smoky. I'm not interested in all that. Let's find out why it makes you drunk without making you drunk. So how does it make you feel tipsy exactly? GABA, formerly referred to as gamma aminobutyric acid, is an inhibitory neurotransmitter which stimulates the same relaxing effects the same relaxing effects of alcohol. If you've ever tried a CBD drink, that's like a drinks based on cannabis, such as Trip, they work in the same way, but as Sentia Spirits use higher dosages, the effects are stronger. The brains behind the operation is David Nutt, a neuropsychopharmacologist at Imperial College London and co-founder of GABA Labs. It's a drink that is based on the science of alcohol, particularly the low doses of alcohol that relax you and make you more sociable. However, whether it works for you can depend on your tolerance to alcohol in general. There is evidence that your GABA system becomes a bit less sensitive when you drink a lot of alcohol. And if you're a heavy drinker, to be honest, you may not get much of an effect at all. But people have been raving about them online since the first flavor was released in 2021. I've tried other drinks that are designed to have a calming effect, but none of them work for me as well as Sentia, one person wrote in an Amazon review. Another posted, "You're never going to get the same buzz as you get from alcohol drinking this, but now I'm a few months alcohol free. I'm feeling the benefits of this even more. If I have a particularly stressful day, this takes the edge off for me. Could not drinking be the new drinking?" That's what the article ends. Yeah, so I don't know if that will become a thing here. 'Cause, people are all into fads until they get tired of stuff. I mean, because I remember a medical professional telling me that when Red Bull was big, there was a period there where a lot of people were coming in sick because they were over drinking Red Bull, messing up their kidneys and their livers and drinking it, mixing it with alcohol and stuff. Sometimes not eating and stuff like that.
Yeah, because people want the extra high, so they drink as you rightfully said, the Red Bull and the alcohol. I see they mix Red Bull with Rude Boy, and I'm thinking, what kind of high are you trying to get?
What's Rude Boy? That's another energy drink?
That's a small drink, like, what is it called? Is it high wine?
It's a bottle,
a brown
right?
bottle, yeah, and it has the weed insignia. It comes in a small brown bottle, and then there's the bottle that looks like the Pear Driller and the Angostura bitter bottles. I'm like, what are you? I watched them last year, Carnival. They were standing right in front of my gate, and I watched them mix the two, and I'd be like, yo, it's got to be crazy. That's Red Bull supposedly give you wings, and then you're mixing it with that. Yeah. And then they were smoking on top of that.
People think more is more.
So they just wanted to be high. Yeah.
Yeah. More is more, apparently. So, let's just hope this doesn't become a thing. I have to admit, when I saw this, I was like thinking, that might be a business opportunity. But then the business people with deep pockets will probably jump all over that. No need for someone like me to go after that. But I could see this going either way, And in the news yesterday after you left, we were discussing one of the things the Prime Minister mentioned was the reason for the bus station on on College Street not being, not having started yet because they're having some trouble with the getting the land for a reasonable price. Because apparently the person who owns the land wants to sell it for way above market price.
So the land that's empty right there by the stairs where you cross up to go to the Methodist church, that vacant area?
It's unclear which, because let me see, there's like
Looks to me
three.
that's the clearest area. I see
Lower
cars
down,
parked there.
Lower down, there are about 3 areas. Personally, for me, even the lowest one to me is not big enough, but I don't know. They said they're doing a bus station, not a terminal, so it's still different. But still, that's the reason he's giving for why he hasn't started yet.
Okay.
And I wonder if any thought. I mean, while I think, I get why College Street would be a kind of an ideal place. I'm wondering if they're taking into consideration when we have storms and so on. You know what I mean? Because every now and then the gut runs. We have bad weather. How is that going to work? And I think ideally it would have been good if whatever area they chose had egress on Market Street as well. See what I mean? Meaning the exits shouldn't be on just College Street, because what if College Street there has to be a time. Maybe there's a time when we have a really big storm and College Street becomes the river that it is, and becomes the river in flood that happens when we have big storms. And so there should have been egress on Market Street. I don't know. What do you think?
I don't know. I'm wondering why is it they need a bus station too? Because what they have now is not working.
Well, I guess the idea
the fact
is
that it's such a high risk area.
Well, I think one of the things the people have said, and that maybe the government is taking, is looking at is no bathrooms and probably proper seating and shelter.
I get that.
So
I get that because there's only one little bus stop there that maybe only 3 or 4 could fit on the.
Exactly.
And the shelter isn't going to be that much if the rain is blowing, and depending on the side of rain. Either way, you're going to get wet under there.
Exactly. So I kind of see where they're coming from as far as having the amenities. I mean, if I lived in St. Peter's, I get it. If I lived in St. Peter's and I go down to the bus terminal on the Bay Road, I'd be like, how come they get seats and shelter and all this, and I have to stand up in the rain when I'm going home? You know what I mean? So I totally get it. Oh, and there's a bathroom if you need to. And then someone was talking yesterday about how apparently some of the bus drivers, they just kind of peed indiscriminately in the area. So there's some points in that area that
smell funny.
Yes. So
men are lucky. Y'all could turn anywhere into a rum shop bathroom. Yeah.
A rum shop bathroom.
Yeah, because you know how those rum shop bathrooms smell. Oh my god. Or by the rum shop, because the fellas go anywhere and relieve themselves. We can't do that.
So it's gonna be left to see how that works out. Let's take a call. Okay. I was actually discussing. We were discussing some other options for the bus station / bus terminal. But caller, go right ahead.
Caller, good morning.
Morning, guys.
Hey, what's
morning,
up?
How are you?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Hey, I'm good.
Good, thanks.
Okay. A little humor this morning, 'cause I think it's laughable. Did you guys see what King Jong has he banned hot dog in his country? He declared if you're serving hot dog, it's in his country you'll be arrested or charged with treason.
Wow.
That means you could go get prison time or execution.
For hot dogs?
He also banned.
Why?
He banned jeans. He banned leather jackets, microwave, Bibles, designer shoes like Gucci, etc., sports car, weed, iPhone, America, slangs, porn, porn kept popping on kind of YouTube. But the funny thing, he banned leather jacket, but he
Hey.
have on a leather jacket.
Hey, I draw the line at porn. How dare he?
Oh my God, what's
Jamsta,
happening?
stop it. But he have on a leather jacket and he banned leather jacket. So it seems like he only banned it for the people of the country, not for himself.
Oh my God, I wouldn't
And I'm
want.
sure
I wouldn't
all
want
these
to be
things
living
he
there
have.
now.
But also, I mean, no one. I mean, whatever name, someone who thinks they were buying Gucci shoes in North Korea. I'm pretty sure those aren't Gucci shoes.
Oh,
So
you
what
better not
was the
before he
point?
comes send somebody for you. I don't understand why he banned hot dogs. They don't make hot dogs over there. Or it's just because the hot dogs are coming from the
He
north.
look like, but he look like he eat a lot of hot dog himself.
Yeah.
He eating a lot of something. Maybe he does. Hot
Let me-
dogs,
let me-
hot dogs,
Let
hot
me
diggity
let me
dogs.
add to the list of things I draw the line at. How dare you ban porn and Bibles?
The two don't mix.
That's the point of the joke.
Oh, okay.
That's the point of the joke.
But I don't understand. Look at his face.
But the big dude have on his big leather jacket. I thought, but he banned leather jacket.
It don't make no sense. Listen, Korea go revolting, but the sad thing is their punishment is terrible. Wow.
I tell you, he's something else. Kortensia, did you see the news about the people that were found in the landing gear of JetBlue?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know why they think they could have made it though. They didn't see what happened to the last two guys that did that on British Airways, the one that ended up, oh my God, on the
But
ground.
did they
And
give
then the
additional information as to who the people were? I never saw anything.
No,
according
they
to
haven't
school,
identified them yet, as
No.
far as I know.
no, they're not identified. But according to school children, they're saying they're from JA. You heard that part, Cleo?
Yeah, cousin,
Yeah.
I think that's the last place the plane came from.
Yeah.
And so they're assuming that people are saying they're from Jamaica.
Yeah. That's sad though. Why though?
Very sad.
The wheel well's not pressurized.
But you know
And
how
it's not
cold,
heated.
Exactly.
You know how cold up here be?
Exactly. And once you get up a certain way, up in the sky,
the
it
air
starts
feels
getting
colder.
cold. Yeah, and the air gets thinner. Listen,
What a horrible
a
death.
horrible suffocation, huh? But you know, hopefully that hypoxia and the anoxia and everything set in, because you know once those set in, they don't know themselves and they just exited peacefully.
Yeah.
Because
Why
that's
would anybody choose to do that though? What could get up in you to want to decide I am gonna go up into a landing gear?
to get
Plane
somewhere.
is gonna go up into the air and you're lucky you ain't drop out.
That's what I'm saying. Because remember when the one had the landing gear had extended on British Airways in London, remember one of the guy, he fell out, I think, because he had already had the effects. The other guy managed to not fall out because he was further in and he made it on the ground and he survived. But the other guy, my gosh, that was a horrible, horrible death.
I remember reading this story in the UK when the guy fell out of somebody's house.
Yeah, she's into the
came to the
I
roof?
remember
Yeah.
that one.
Or something, yeah.
That's the same one I'm speaking of.
Mhm.
Yeah. And his friend only didn't fall out because he was on the inner side of it.
Okay, Cleo, let's take another call. You can call back. Let's
Alrighty.
see. Yeah. Caller, go right ahead. It's 8:31. Go ahead, caller.
Hi, morning.
Hey, morning.
Morning.
What's up?
With regards to the bus terminal, I think, to be quite honest, I think it's a waste of money. Okay? They're just not thinking in the future. To me, if they're going to be spending what sounds like an exorbitant amount of money to acquire that area and so on, what they should do is expand the terminal down by the ferry terminal. Expand it, reclaim a little bit of land there, and include the St. Peter's bus terminal there, so that where they meet now, where they catch the buses now, would just be another stop on the way to St. Peter's. In other words, centralize everything.
Yeah.
Okay? right? Rather than, to me, it makes no sense, actually, putting, acquiring land and putting another terminal there, right? You mentioned that the Prime Minister gave that as a reason for a reason for it not being started as yet.
Yeah.
That to me, I think it would be killing two birds with one stone.
Well, he said that. He said what his I guess his staff was saying, that if they pay, that much above market value, it could distort.
Right. The real
estate.
Yeah. Well, don't do that then.
Which I get.
And there's an alternative. Okay. But like I said, I don't think you're looking.
So what alternative?
Too far ahead in the future.
What I mean, other than down there, because I take the point, because I always felt like there should be some kind of reclamation along that area in front of the market,
right,
going
in front
west.
Of the market.
And your idea is not a bad idea, but what other options are there for the,
Well, the other option too can be managing that area better, the existing area down there better, so that the buses don't line up there. There's some kind of queue system where they're given parking elsewhere, and only the buses that are, going to be taken off in a reasonable amount of time use the terminal facility. Okay? So you might have, let's say, 3 queues, one for the east, one for the west, and one for St. Peter's. And they're not overloaded with buses. And as people come...
you're talking down on the Bay Road. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
all right.
yeah.
Oh,
that's
okay,
what I'm talking.
Okay.
You don't even have to build additional facilities if it's managed. If there's a correct dispatch type arrangement and so on, you don't need that. Okay, we've seen it done out elsewhere, where only the buses that are going to be. I guess we have seen it work. It was public transportation, so basically they just queue up when they're about to leave. The buses park elsewhere, and then they come to the particular point, whether east, west, or St. Peter's, and fill the buses, and then they take off. Okay? So,
but what about... But I mean, I take your point, but what about the point I was making about having egress on Market Street, if they were to do it where they want to do it? Don't you think that that's a significant consideration when you consider that College Street is a river, which isn't flooded after storms and so on? So that could be done, or alternatively, because why spend all that money and then
road.
I thought about that. I was saying the area, the youth and community area, that I thought the whole complex, including basketball city, could be used.
But again, though, I think those should be stops and not the terminal itself, not the terminal itself. There should be bus shelters there, yes, but no grand terminal like down at the ferry terminal.
But you remember I gave you that idea, that distributed distributed location idea on College Street. You have like 3 pieces of land. I mean, you could do that approach too. You have
on College Street.
Yeah, a smaller one down at the bottom, another one.
Yeah, regular stops. I mean, there's no reason why that shouldn't be done. But I don't think we get too hooked up on, St. Peter's wants a bus station, and that's fixated, and you don't think ahead into the future, and you just want to deliver that. I think it's short-term thinking.
Another idea I thought of was, I know they're supposed to be building a government office park in the area. that area between Blade and Commercial and where the rented generators are.
Right.
They're supposed to build
what they call it?
a government office park. Yeah, apparently it's supposed to be there.
To service who? Where?
No, the government offices.
All government offices?
Well, a lot.
What they do? Have some shuttle arrangement or something?
No, meaning it would be
just for the government things in the area.
Yeah, so to stop the rentals all over the place. Something that was the impression I got. You know.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So then, if you did that,
idea.
you could raise. Well, this part is my idea now. You raise government headquarters, right? Including NCI, and the terminal couldn't go there, along with some parking.
Well, that's some real good real estate you're going to be raising. I'm not so sure. And some of the buildings are quite modern. Modern in the sense that they've been recently renovated or built, like NCI.
But when has that stopped them? The hospital isn't 20 years old. Is the hospital 20? The new hospital, the new.
But they're not planning to raise that, though.
Well, no, but they're gonna go build a new hospital, and the hospital isn't exactly old. So when has that ever stopped them? You know?
Yeah. Well, I guess it's all a matter of priorities, right? And similarly, as you talk about the hospital, it was kind of disappointing to hear that health insurance is being postponed again. The reason being given is that you have to deal with Social Security first, because it's going to involve Social Security, so you have to stabilize that
But do you think we'll get the health insurance before the term comes to an end?
Hello?
Do you think we'll get the health insurance before this term, before the next election?
Well, that's the thing. It doesn't sound so, right? Which is unfortunate. The thing is, we do have elements of a national health insurance already. Nobody gets turned away if they go to the JNF.
So sure.
They're treated, might be billed, and so on. But I think the area that we lack is the catastrophic health insurance part of it, okay? Where treatment and so on is expensive or requires overseas interventions and those kinds of things, okay? And I'm saying that what needs to be done is to put down however many millions, and say between 5 and 10 million that you use a year to cover that in the meantime, okay? Have a panel of an appropriate panel of doctors, etc., that determine who gets access to it and how much, and at least that would save some lives. That would give. It's a short-term fix for obviously something that is needed long-term. Okay, I don't know, and in a sense too, I forget the fund they call it for the children. Okay, it would be an extension of that. Okay, because right now I think children are covered essentially. Okay, and so it's really unfortunate that this thing has been that can has been kicked down the road again, like so many other cans that need to be looked at should have been prioritized, like constitutional reform, those kinds of things, which people put on the back burner, but are really important. They only regard it as important when it reaches crisis point. And again, that speaks to our planning. We don't plan enough.
Yep. Well, by the way, happy birthday.
By the way, Jamsta, I hear you're going to be an American citizen soon.
Really?
You're going to be losing your Canadian citizenship for. And Canada
I'm not a Canadian citizen.
well, Well, you have Canadian connections. I'm just warning you that. Warning
It's going to be a full-fledged American.
No.
No, it's going to be America. It's going to be a colony of America.
Oh my God.
I think.
I don't know. That guy just I don't know that guy I don't know.
Well, he's something else. You know,
That guy is something else.
unilaterally rename the Gulf of Mexico as the Gulf of America.
But you heard what Miss Scheinbaum came back with, the president of Mexico. She said, well, what if we decided to just call America what it has always been called, a Mexican America, on maps from since the 17th century? Yeah.
Yeah.
Mexican America is what, yeah.
They're still smarting over that, just like how America is smarting over the Panama Canal, too. As far as they're concerned, we built it, it's ours, you know?
I kind of understand the Panama Canal problem. They shouldn't have sold it. I don't think they should have sold it. I mean, I don't think Mr. Carter should have given it up, honestly.
So what about sovereignty? It is in Panama after all.
No, but I mean, it's not like it was owned by some authoritarian regime who was bullying the Panamanian government or anything. I mean, it was an amicable arrangement.
Yeah,
the Americans, right?
So I think the only reason that well, apart from the hegemony part of it, is the feeling that China is gonna eventually control it.
Yeah, I get that. I get that one. Yeah.
That's another. But if you think that is reasonable,
that one is.
What do you think of Greenland?
No, that's just nonsense. I understand his point about maybe America having more, let's say, more resources in the area in the Northwest Passage area and so on. That I get, but then that approach of let's take Greenland isn't necessary. Denmark is part of NATO. All you have to do is boost your presence in the area. They already have a base there. They have a space base there. The Space Force have a base. All they have to do is turn it into a joint base, right? And put more resources there.
That's not sufficient. I don't think that's sufficient for them.
Yeah,
right?
But then just turning it.
You have to remember, America when it first started didn't consist of places like Alaska and Hawaii and California. It didn't, right? After they bought Louisiana from the French, or those southern areas from the French, that is when they started the expansion. So I think Trump is in the mode now where America reigns supreme, and if you're going to do anything for the expansion, this is the time to do it. And they can do it. They can just walk in there. I mean, yes, there might be legal ramifications, but that never stopped Trump yet, right? I mean, it would be like a NATO country invading another NATO country.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense, exactly.
Right, but it's not a matter of what makes sense. It's what's possible with American might right now, and
but then there's the obvious hypocrisy on display. I mean,
with Russia
and Ukraine, and now here you're talking about taking over, Greenland.
Yeah, double standards and hypocrisy never stop the West anyway, right? I mean, that's on display everywhere, right? It's just a case of the power as it is now, the world, how it's aligned right now. If America is going to do anything, there's always this thing that America is going to eventually decline. It's not going to stay where it is forever. I think what Trump is probably planning to do is forestall that. You know, I am sure that he's going to go after BRICS, with a vengeance, to make sure that nothing happens to the dollar, that it remains the predominant currency of trade. Okay, he's going to slow down that process of decline as far as possible. Okay, and there's nobody who can stop him. You realize that, right? As the world is now, Russia is weak. That is weakened. What the Ukraine war shows is that they were never as strong as they thought. The Chinese economy has slowed down, so they're no longer this big threat as before. So who's to stop America? You see?
Good points. So, by the way, happy birthday.
Yeah, belated. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yesterday.
Happy belated.
I have agents everywhere.
Apparently. Apparently. Well, thanks anyway. It's good to reach this ripe old age. It's good. Just good.
Yeah, it is good.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll
I hope you ate a lot of cake and drank some cider. Some apple cider.
Cider, not anything stronger?
No.
Cider is
I
for
won't
wimps.
recommend anything.
Cider is for wimps.
What? Cider is
Cider
not
is
for
for
wimps. Cider is a
Come
nice...
on, Jamsta.
Come on, man.
On the Jamsta.
Well, if cider is for wimps, what you call me who just drank water?
Everybody has to drink water. Don't try that.
That was a good one.
Yeah. Whatever works. I would say whatever works because, as you pointed out just a while ago, was it Kortensia, that every now and again they switch on you. Coffee is good, coffee is bad, etc., etc.
Yeah.
Right?
Soon they're gonna tell us water is bad for us.
Yeah. Well, too much water is,
we
they say.
already
We
know
could
too
get
much
water
water is bad
poisoning.
for
Well, yeah, but you know what I mean. Like they say,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
you never know.
Well, so just as I always say, do whatever you like in moderation.
Yeah.
Exactly.
In moderation, and you'll be just fine, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, we'll take a
right.
quick break. Yeah, and come back.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
It's that time of year to win big. Use your Republic Bank MasterCard today for a chance to win prepaid cards, a culinary priceless experience, and free groceries for 3 months. Terms and conditions apply. Visit our website or social media for more information.
And we're back to shooting the breeze. Let's get back to shooting the breeze. 10 minutes until 9 o'clock. I see you sent me some stuff just now. So, what's on your mind?
Yeah, I'm just looking at the fire still. I just can't believe, like,
The fires, right? Yeah, that's
the sky is red in Los Angeles from fires. Please pray.
You know, I couldn't help. I was telling my wife last night that some people might not like this, but I was telling my wife that I part of me feels like part of that is like godly retribution.
Oh boy, but
Because no, I mean, you can't help but if you believe if you're a creationist, you can't, and you maybe kind of know some things from the Bible. I mean, I went to Sunday school and all of that, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can't help but think that some of this stuff can't be just coincidence, right?
Mm.
I mean, look at where it's happening, California. I mean, I'm not this hardcore superstitionist, right? But
it always happens over there. Even when they do movies,
yeah,
that's why they were likening the scene of the cars to that of a movie set.
yeah. I mean, can you
They're
imagine?
always showing over there burning. They're always showing it underwater. They're always showing it's gonna get the biggest earthquake. And then we did see at one point they did get a big earthquake. You remember that one?
Yeah.
So it's like they destroy these things before they actually get destroyed in their movies, in their minds.
But the point I'm making is that I mean, it's like all this stuff happening. It seems like it's maybe God is trying to send them a
So
message.
you want to say this is a retribution for the missiles they gave to Israel that's killing?
Well,
the
just
kids
everything. I mean, just everything. I mean, the racism, their original sin, which is what got Donald Trump reelected.
Mm-hmm.
Here you have a convicted criminal.
Mm.
everyone knows he's a convicted criminal. Everyone knows he did this, knows he did that, knows he said that, knows he said this, and they still elected him. All of these things are glaring. You could say glaring receipts that the rest of the world can see, and people are like wondering, how does this guy get elected as president again? With the stuff that comes out of his mouth, and you know, and the stuff that he's accused of, right?
That's what I'm saying. How can non-upstanding person rule upstanding people?
Who says they're, well, I have to question their upstandingness now after electing that guy again.
Oh boy.
I saw an article, I didn't read it, but I saw an article last night about what? Why Americans continue, maybe I should go and look for that later. Why Americans continue to vote against their own interests. I remember seeing it, but I didn't stop to read it, but I said, there's a good question. So, you know, some people talk about, well, you know, that they're supposed, you know, they're sitting on one of the most volatile seismic faults on the planet over in California there. So, and we all know what goes on in California, right?
Yeah.
So whenever that pops off, that's gonna really be the ultimate, you could say the ultimate punishment. And then people will look at it as oh, it's just a coincidence. But I don't know. But you can't help but think about that stuff. If you know anything, you go to Sunday school and you know how. I don't want to bring karma into it because that's like a Hindu.
So
that's a Hindu religion thing.
What
But
name
you know,
or what connotation would you put to it then? Karma.
Well, maybe partly.
Partly?
I mean, imagine you're trying to put out fires and your reservoirs run out of water, just putting out fires, and then you have more fires just flaring up. It's crazy, huh? I mean,
but that shows what people paying attention. You know, around the world we have the drought situation happening. What people paying attention, so it looks like, as I said, poor President Biden is like, it looks like they weren't, because if they were, then maybe they could have had more waters for fires when they do start.
Well, they've had drought for a while over there.
Yeah, but then they should have been in a prepared state with water. Just like how we are conserving over here to ensure that everybody can get
sure they were, but
some of it.
I'm sure. You have to remember there are more people living in California than in all of Canada.
Okay.
So
It's the who's who state of the U.S. It is the who's who state of the U.S.
Yeah. So I mean, my hat goes out to the people who lost businesses and homes, and I didn't even know about the James Woods thing.
Yeah, now the Matheson guy as well, Cameron Matheson. Yeah, that's what I just sent you.
Oh, okay.
Matheson or Matheson.
I imagine
everybody pronounce their name.
I imagine some people will be gleeful about James Woods losing his house because he's one of the few conservative celebrities, actors. Yeah, he's actually a conservative. So I imagine some of the mean-spirited.
We don't rejoice in people's.
I know,
thing,
but
because we
I
never
imagine
know when our day is gonna come. We have to be mindful.
And maybe some of the mean-spirited liberals are like, yes, suits you right, you know.
None suit nobody right, because I don't know where my turn coming. Because when you least expect it, it pops up on you.
I like this comment here. Someone, Wisdom Faith says. Let me read Burl's comment first. Trump can be bad for America if he doesn't get his way. He will mash up the works and start a war. And Wisdom Faith says, anything that will be a benefit to the people of St. Kitts Nevis will always be on the back burner. It's not a priority for government. Like the health insurance of the people. If this was something to increase the salaries again, it would have been done.
Oh boy.
Yeah, so that person commenting on one of the things we were talking about when Mac Mahon was on the line. Yeah, so that's what people are saying. People keep your comments coming. And of course you can call us 466-0989, 662-0989. So let me see what you sent me now.
Oh boy.
Let's see.
Do you see what Cleo said?
Uh,
Trump just know how to get people talking, and you all fall for it all the time.
well, there's part of that, and then there's part of it is you kind of have to. Sometimes I don't think he's as cunning as people think he is. I just think he just says what's on his mind. I honestly don't think that he, some people, some commentators make out like he's so cunning and manipulative, and I don't know about that. I just think he's all id. He just says what comes to his mind, and he's sort of like a rampaging bull. He's like a bull in a china shop, actually, when you think about it. No, China. I mean, yeah. The China shop of American politics, and they re-elected the bull. I mean, because for so long things have been done in a sort, mostly decorous and sensible way, and then here you have this guy who just comes in and says what's on his mind. The ultimate anti-diplomat. I mean, he doesn't. I mean, some of the things imagine the president saying things that no diplomat would say, and even just regular people might not want to say. And he's serious. I don't think he's that.
You think he's serious? I'm sure he doesn't even take himself serious. So I don't think he's serious. No.
What's this person? Gwyneth is saying this happened 3 weeks ago in New York, but thought it is worth sharing. A woman was stabbed to death by her ex-husband because he saw a hickey on the neck. According to her 15-year-old son, was wounded trying to intervene. The son had to jump through a window. Wow. I would like to get some more context on that one. Let's take a call.
Caller, good morning. You're live on Island T.
Morning.
The problem with being a bull in a china shop is that you are a bull in a china shop. Right? You have power to do stuff, and you do it recklessly.
Yes.
Okay, so you just can't dismiss it. You see, that's the thing. It's all right to say that he says what he thinks and these kinds of things, but there's nothing to stop him from acting out what he thinks, acting out his thoughts, and that is the danger. That's what's dangerous about it, and we really should sit up and pay attention to what he says, and and see, make sure that we don't know when he's serious and when he's not serious. You see, that's the whole point. We know he has a big ego. We know he likes attention, but we have to pay attention to what he says because he has the power to really smash things. Okay. But to answer your question about people who go against their interests, who vote against their interests, I think there was a time when a tax against the wealthy was somewhere in the state, some state in the state, was proposed, and the people voted against it. And the reason being that most of the people expected at some point in their life to be rich, and they didn't want to be taxed then, so they don't tax.
Yeah, I saw
they go
that.
against
Yeah,
the tax now.
I saw it. Yeah, I remember that.
There is that strange way of thinking that
everybody's going to get rich.
Things like that. Yeah, and we both know it's a lottery. It's essentially a lottery. Okay, but they don't mind. All right, and I guess so that explains why people would do that. They expect to be the beneficiary of a decision that they make now.
But then that's just one state. I actually think, well, not actually think. I know that there were surveys done nationally, and most Americans felt that rich people should be paying more tax, right?
But
more taxes,
when you superimpose that on other things, like for instance, I think there's a psyche in America now that the Democrats spend and the Republicans, the Democrats tax and spend, and the Republicans are more frugal when it comes to economic affairs. Okay, right? That has become built in. Whether it's true or not, whether the data actually bears that out is another question. Okay, because very often the deficit balloons when Republicans are in power as well, because they love to spend money on the military. But that has sunk in. And don't fool yourself, you know. I mean, despite the soft living, the high standards of living, and people might think they have lots to lose, Americans are very hardy people, you know. This idea that, Americans will not start a nuclear war because, you know, they know that it will, apart from the mutually assured destruction thing, they don't want to lose their soft life. Again, history does not bear that out, okay? And the mere fact that they are the only ones who have used a nuclear weapon on Japan when, in fact, they could have just demonstrated the sheer power of that weapon rather than actually drop it on an actual target and kill so many people. The mere fact that they were prepared to do that.
I'm glad you said that.
Consider, kind of thinking.
Consider what we were discussing a while ago about godly retribution. All of that goes to that argument actually, because I've always thought about what you just said. They're the only country that has done that stuff, dropped it on people, and it was never lost on me either. That they chose to drop it not on white people, but people who weren't like them. It just it has to be said, right?
Yeah. Well, by the time wasn't Germany defeated though? Were they? Or
around the time, because it was August.
Right. So they didn't use it against Germany. They used it against the Japanese.
Exactly. It's interesting, right?
Yeah. I never really looked at that, but yeah. You know. So but the point is, they are hardy people, and they should never underestimate that American psyche. It exists. It's different. It's a different kind of thinking, I think, to other nations. And
so they really are exceptional then, for better or for worse.
For better or for worse. For better or for worse, right? That's a good way of. Well, I'm not so sure about exceptional. Remember, they mainly consist of people from other countries, you know, in the final analysis. Okay, so one can argue, and that is always the case for immigration. You can argue that anybody who's prepared to pack up and leave the country that they were born and live in to go to America, a frontier, have to be a really hardy bunch of people. You know, they have to have. Well,
how hardy could you be if the Native Americans had to show you how to farm and basically prevent you from starving?
Well, like any other thing, might is right, okay? And you, as we well know, even down these parts, where you had the Caribs and the Arawaks and the indigenous people, and the Europeans came with their higher technology weapons,
mash them up.
and just exactly. Yep. So you can have skills in other areas, in other life areas, but if you can't back that up with your defense and so on, you're nothing. You become slaves, right? Yeah, and that's a hard lesson we learned too, from personal experience in Africa and coming over here. You know, so exceptionalism. I don't know if it's we should say American exceptionalism, but certainly exceptional people are the ones who migrate. Even down these paths. Why do you think immigrants generally do well as a rule? They do well because they're more resilient, they're risk takers, They work hard. You know, any place that have immigrants, it's always like that. There's always a backlash, yes, but it's because they, and this is a good thing. They come and they help build the country.
But do you feel they tend to work harder because they don't have a choice? They have to be outstanding to ensure that they keep their job. The mere fact that they're not from the country.
Right. That is a fact. That is also a fact. But regardless of the reason, it is a fact that they tend to do well when they migrate. You know, and it's a mutual thing in that they help build the country as well. I mean, immigrants not going to go to a place where they would go and not succeed. They'll pack up and go back or go somewhere else. You know, so it's a good group of people to have in any country, right? Unfortunately, there's like I said, the backlash because there's always come to take our jobs, etc., etc., etc. You know, yeah. But I'm really concerned that this idea of the exceptionalism that you bring up, and they bring it up from time to time as well, has taken root to the point where now they not only want to show that they're exceptional, they're going to use it to make sure that they remain on top, okay, and will not lose their permanent position anytime soon. And that can be dangerous for other countries because that's how wars start, you know, over resources and so on. You know, that's something that we really have to look at. It's going to be interesting to see now that you notice the sights are set not just on South countries, third world countries as Tom used to be, but on places like Europe, okay, Canada, you know, Mexico, you know, it's not, and that is why I'd hesitate to say that it's about racism as well, because some of these people, most of these people are white. They're going to be going after are also white. Okay, so it doesn't fit into your narrative, Jamsta, that it's a color thing.
No, but I have read a lot of essays to that effect. I mean,
that was.
I've read a lot of essays by clear-eyed white people and people of other colors talking about that, pointing out that a lot of this is really racism is at the root of it because they don't want to be okay, take for example, I think they say that America is about 67% white now or something, and at some point that's gonna get reversed.
That they're gonna be in the minority, yeah.
They're gonna be the minority, and take for example, there's a book written by a black sociologist. She actually came up with a term to describe the phenomenon I'm gonna. You know, for example, back in the 30s and 40s and 50s, there used to be these giant public swimming pools, right?
Right.
In the U.S., where people would go and swim and so on, and you know, black people would go there and try to swim, and they would be dragged out to the pool. They would pour acid in the pools, and they drain the pools and so on. And apparently it went to the Supreme Court, I think in the 50s. And the Supreme Court ruled that black Americans are allowed to swim just like everybody else. So this is where the black sociologist ended up naming this phenomenon. So you know what they did? They filled up all the public pools with concrete. Because their thing was, if black people can swim, we don't want to swim. So she ended up coming up with this term called drain pool syndrome. It's basically giving the zero sum mentality a name. Drain pool syndrome. The same thing also applies to universal health care. The fact that the richest country on earth does not have universal health care. They have various studies have shown that white Americans feel like if black people are going to get free health care, well, I don't want free health care.
But
look it up for yourself.
You think it's as simple as that?
Yes. Well, that's part of it.
Because
that's part of it.
No, but generally, don't you think generally, America is really zip code dependent kind of place where facilities and so on depends a lot on your zip code. So I'm surprised that they had to resort to filling up the pools. I think what would more likely have happened, is that the whites move out of the area, move out of an area, and you see it a lot in New York, where as the blacks come into certain middle-class areas or high-end areas, they move out and create another high-end area other places.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that is one response to it.
But usually with those pools, it was always a case where the black Americans would have to drive not necessarily, they'd have to drive a good way to get there. But the point was, the pools may have been in their district, but they would have to go further than the white folks would have to go.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. But you realize that, we talk about it in a very mundane way, but you realize that we do the same thing. You see the uproar against how many citizens, the fact that it may be overtaken by, let's say, the CBI citizens.
Mm-hmm.
And right. So it's again, that shows that it's not so much a racial thing as a territorial kind of thing. This is our land, this is our territory. We have to protect it.
No, but whether we want to acknowledge it or not, there's a racial aspect to it, because look at the disparity and the racial power the difference in racial power dynamic, right? Why is it that everywhere black people live, even where they're supposedly the majority population, they're at the bottom? Why is that? I mean, why? These are uncomfortable questions and uncomfortable truths that we have to confront. And whatever people...
Is that so here? Is that's not so here?
Well, we might have political power, but then you can argue that the politicians are in the pockets of the people who have money, whether they're black or white or whatever color, right? And they
No, but I'm talking about actual application on the ground, right? Sure, I mean, a few power brokers with money will always wield that, whether they be Indian or Chinese or whatever. Okay. Yes, they always do that, and yes, unfortunately,
and then again,
pay more attention to them. But in terms of the spread of people and their wealth, right? I think it's still very much. I think we're still very much in charge of that, aren't we? You can only point to a few people of a different race who wield that kind of influence.
I think it's mostly. I think we're in charge is mostly cosmetic, to be honest. Because money, I think money is in charge, and who has the money? Certainly not us.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, it's a sufficiently small minority that they can be. Well, we don't consider them a threat. If you see what I mean. No, I don't think we actually feel threatened.
We continue.
We're threatened by the overall figures.
We continue to do that at our own peril because, like I always say, where is the reciprocity? Can TDC go to China and set up let's say a manufacturing plant for some of the stuff that they do, just like Walmart does? Can Hosfords go to India and do the same? Would they be allowed? I mean, would they be allowed the concessions and so on that they get here? Nope. It's not going to happen.
Well, we don't
so
know
then
until
why?
we
So
try.
why do we give away everything?
Maybe we should try and see how far we can
but what's
get.
the alternative? But Jamster, what's
The alternative.
Have we tried? Look at the local examples, for instance, of things that we tried using indigenous money and so on. Look at what has happened to OTI. Look at what happened to Kittishan Hill, which was supposed to be a signature local project. You know, and so that does not inspire confidence that, and that is why I'm.
But but that doesn't mean but that doesn't mean that we don't have doesn't mean we don't have the indigenous potential. Just because a particular chosen set of people had that opportunity and messed it up doesn't mean that we don't have people, whether they live overseas or not, who aren't capable of turning these things around. I mean,
But it hasn't happened. So
no, it hasn't happened because they haven't been given the opportunity. I mean, let me give you an example.
Okay, so it remains as just potential.
No, take for example, how is it that our host for Money Matters, Dr. Terrence Martin, gets hired by the U.S. government to head up projects, gets hired by the Grenada government to implement certain, financial regimes that they want to set up. And he's
locally.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's a professor at Winston-Salem University, North Carolina. He was listed as one of the
40.
One of the 40 under 40 brilliant financial minds in the U.S. See where I'm going with this?
Oh. Yeah.
So because
because there are connections involved.
Yeah, but they screwed up Kittishan Hill, they screwed up OTI. Doesn't mean that there aren't people here with great ideas. I know for a fact
that can help them to unscrew them.
Exactly.
Well, Kittishan Hill at least.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad you used those examples because those really rankle me, honestly.
Yeah, and as they should, because there were supposed to be local signature projects that would define us and how we review the industry and so on.
Yeah.
You know, and we always seem to settle for the but then again too, I remember Antigua saying we're looking at the fact that our strategy seemed to be concentrated on attracting big name hotels like the Hyatt, the Four Seasons, the Marriotts, and so on, as opposed to the Antigua version, which they have lots of hotels, but they don't have the name brand type. The only one I think they might have is Sandals.
Yeah.
Like what we have, and they thought that gave us a good edge, and one may argue that in a sense it has worked for us.
But it does. But here's where you can have the best of both worlds. I mean, Marriott is owned by someone who's not a Kittishan, right?
Right.
And Marriott was they had their name in it because they managed it. So we can have the best of both worlds by empowering locals to invest in the physical infrastructure for a hotel, and then those people in turn who could turn around and say, oh, I think I want W Hotels, or I want Sandals, or I want Intercontinental to manage this hotel.
Yeah, again, the Jamsta. Remember that was done, eh? And that's the whole point too.
Mm-hmm.
Again, our ventures into these kinds of things are not good. I remember, and this was way back. I took up my happy money. I was still I think I was in sixth form then, and said I'm going to invest in a company called Cementation. Next thing, the company closed. I mean, it wasn't a lot of money, but company
I
closed.
remember that name vaguely. What was that?
Look,
Cementation. What was that again?
you know where I think it's Gases on the Bayfront there.
Oh yeah.
Right on the Bayfront.
Uh-huh.
Right. They were bringing in bulk cement or something like that. Yeah.
Oh, so they didn't do
Right.
ready mix or anything like that?
I don't think it was ready mix.
Okay.
They were distributing. Maybe they were just bagging it.
Okay, I
bulk
remember that
cement
name
or
now.
something like that.
Cementation. Yeah.
Right. But what I mean is it failed. Next thing, Fort Thomas.
But other people fail too. I mean,
Look at Fort. No, but what I'm saying is, when you do things like that and they fail, you only get burned once, twice. You have to sit up and take notice. Fort Thomas was a local hotel.
run by Holiday Inn.
Holiday Inn, yeah.
Yeah, but just because that didn't work didn't mean. I mean, shouldn't we forge on and learn from? Shouldn't we forge on and learn from the previous mistakes?
Well,
obviously not.
Make a mistake over and over again.
Yep.
You know, that's what I'm saying. We need a good example of a local.
But I'll tell you, maybe what's corrupting the equation is maybe the inordinate government involvement. I think government needs to. What government should be doing is smoothing the way, and providing a lot of the things that smooth the way to the success of these kind of ventures, and step aside. What's wrong with that? I feel like
or facilitate joint.
Well, yeah, that
any
too.
Any company coming in,
that too,
have some kind of local, right.
And then you should have checks and balances so that government doesn't have inordinate, let's say, influence and so on.
Look, the model that has to be changed, because I strongly suspect it's still being continued, is this idea of those people financing political campaigns.
Well,
as you pointed out, the money.
There you go.
The money. If
I didn't want to say that. I didn't want to say that, because you see.
Yeah. There's still that.
And then find me dead in a cane field somewhere. So
it's bad for democracy, but it's regarded. I didn't get the joke. What's that?
No, I said I didn't. You said it. I didn't want to say that because they'll find me dead in a cane field somewhere or something. So
Jamsta.
Really? Is as serious as that? You mean
what I mean is our politicians and our powers they
don't have a better way of practicing the politics. They consider that good politics.
They concentrate. They get in their feelings when people point out what they're doing wrong, rather than trying to fix the problem, and take a critical look at themselves and say, "Boy,
there's no attempt to fix the problem."
I don't understand.
Right? There's this idea that you and I are naive and don't know what politics is about, and just continue the bad practices of the past.
So
that is one of the most frustrating things about, even when governments change, it's like they just settle into the old bad habits.
Exactly.
I can't understand it.
Which is why when you hear people in opposition railing against the incumbent and talking all that mess, I just roll my eyes, because chances are if they get in, same thing.
Same thing again. Yeah? Why is there no huge outcry by the opposition, for instance, of that there's no functioning public accounts committee?
There you go.
Because when they get in, who want that kind of scrutiny?
And then why is there no serious push for checks and balances that will really help to clean up a system, I think, which seems to aid and abet corruption and inefficiency and so on, government inefficiency and all of that.
I really would have liked, for instance, the Attorney General to be on a program where he's grilled by reporters who don't hold back their cards. Because, you see, I held up a lot of hope. Because I used to hear Garth, he used to be a host and thing. And I held up a lot of hope that because of what he used to say, right? Because he used to talk just like this, right? Yet, he goes in there. I'm not saying it's him alone, but you'd think that these were principles that he had before going into office. And now that he's in a position to change things, it's almost like he just fall into the same run-of-the-mill thing. You know, I just don't understand what it is about politics.
Well, like I always say, you have to. I mean, there's the go along to get along aspect of being a part of a political organization.
Not to harp on him, but in his particular case, you got the impression that he ain't going along to get along with nobody. As a matter of fact, I think he did say that. That I mean, if he found himself against a brick wall, he just limit office.
Okay.
Right?
So,
but I guess when you're in there, it's a totally different kettle of fish. And I really would have liked to hear his explanation of the about face, because he cannot convince me that things ain't just the same as before. That the integrity stuff that it passed aren't just cosmetic. They're not actually being vigorously applied. They're not muscular,
Yeah.
I would like to hear the take on these things because, like I said, I really expected something very different.
Well, like I said yesterday, for me, cynicism on 11. I don't expect anything to change. In fact, things will get worse. I don't expect.
It's really unfortunate.
It's poor bad, right?
poor ordinary citizen has been taken for a ride again.
Yeah.
Campaign time.
Well, when they're fed up, they're gonna come off the bus. So you best believe it. They realize now who wields the power.
I guess we can take some small comfort in all the Americans are facing the same problem as well, which is that's I mean that's how we tend to think because people I know
misery love company.
People say, well, I mean sometimes when you criticize the politicians, they say, oh well, look at this is no different to
but why we gotta look over there? We gotta better ourselves.
Thank you.
Be the talk of the town, in a good way, than to be the talk of a town in a negative way.
Exactly.
Yeah. So we got to pull up our own socks, as we heard the elders say.
That, they can afford to be that way. No, they are developed. We just struggling to find our way in the world and can't afford to make the same kind of mistakes that they made in coming to this point.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That should be the attitude of the leaders in power right now. Try to do things. If you do things right, do things the right way, you'll get re-elected. That the re-election and the next 5 years would take care of itself, because people would see that you're absolutely doing the right thing. I mean, it ain't everything going to be popular, but people's lives are supposed to be better at the end of the 5 years in office. And if it's not, you should pay the price and get out and let somebody else run it.
Well, evidence seems to show, it seems to me that they're putting the bag ahead of do the right thing and get reelected, because maybe the thinking is if I put the getting of the bag first, if I don't get reelected, I'm still good. I don't know. Maybe that's what's going on.
Yeah, I don't know. That is cynicism 101. Okay, and you're right. Take care of me first.
Yeah.
Right? Because if the people are very fickle, and they can toss me out.
And I could imagine the endless justifications for that line of thinking that they would give you if you spoke to them.
Yeah, and they point back as examples and so on. Which I always say is a good reason for term limits, because they're going to do the damage anyway. Give them the 5 years, and thank you very much. Be gone.
I mean, I feel like the person that the Americans are burying at the moment, it's so sad that, you know, when you have a good template for a president, they never get to they almost never get to let's say get to their full potential. I mean, Jimmy Carter had one term, and then now that his presidency is being looked back at, people are having different sentiments than what they had at the time. Yeah. Oh, he's weak. He's this, he's that.
Jimmy Carter is a good example of nice guys finishing last.
Yeah. Exactly.
You know?
Yep.
I mean, so even though he did a lot of the right things, he was regarded as a boring kind of guy. He didn't get us into wars, and he
I don't even understand
broke up peace stuff.
Exactly, and then the thing that made him
considered weak.
And the funny thing is, the thing that made him look weak. The thing that made him look weak was just underhanded stuff that Ronald Reagan did to make himself look good. Where he reached out to the Iranian power structure and told them not to release the hostages until after he had won.
Right. But
so that made boy.
You notice Trump is doing something of that nature.
Well, of course.
You notice that he put pressure on the peace negotiators.
Yeah. And then he did that with the border, and then with the border.
And he's essentially doing that with Ukraine too. I mean, this idea of ending the war and thing.
Yeah, when he comes in.
Yeah.
So it can look good on his resume that he did that.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah.
You know, he's already claiming victory in saying that even before I'm inaugurated, I'm changing. I'm bucking the system. I'm making waves.
Yeah.
You know,
okay.
It has started already.
Okay, let's take a break. We gotta come back. Right. We have the next day part is of course Mac can join us again if he has a mind to. Keep your calls coming. We're gonna get a word from our sponsors and Rams and so on.
Found the Sound 98.9 FM.
Shopping with TDC just got much easier. Here's how. Log on to shoptdcgroup.com. Shop at your convenience at any time, from anywhere, with your smartphone, tablet, or computer. With our safe and secure payment checkout, you choose the option to pick up in-store or have your goods delivered right to your door. It's that easy. Shop tdcgroup.com, your one-stop online store.
Shop anywhere, shop anytime, same quality you love. Now online. Shop
www.shoptdcgroup.com.
'Tis the season to shop and win. Ram Supermarket, let the fun begin. Each week, 3 winners. Oh, what a thrill! 500 cash to pay your Christmas bill. Ram Supermarket, bring you cash for Christmas. Shop at any of our supermarkets or cash and carry, and each week 3 lucky shoppers will win 500 in cash. Shop and win. It's the season of cheer. Ram Supermarket, spreading joy all year. The good food people making spirits bright. With cash for Christmas, your holidays just right. Ram Supermarket, the good food people. Shop today and win big this Christmas.
Oh, I've got this feeling to high-five the sun, dance in the rain, and have my scoop of fun. I'm on my way to flavor my day with something new, and I've got room for you. Let loose and live a little, get close and share a little, give in and taste a little. You'll fall in love with creamery novelties. Love life and live a little, get close and share a little, give in and
Enjoy Creamy Novelties Ice Cream, distributed by Rams Trading. Live a little.
And we are back. Hey, what's up? So we have I have a comment here. Okay, let's take this call first. Caller, go right ahead. Okay. Feel free to call back. I was looking at this comment here. It says politicians only see things that are bad when they're in opposition and campaigning. When they get in, all things that were bad suddenly become good. Most politicians are just greedy, selfish vagabonds, just looking out for themselves and raping the country treasury. Okay. Caller, go right ahead. Hi, caller, Island T. I don't know what's going on there. Yeah. So.
I was just looking at something here on Facebook where I see a senator's husband didn't want to shake Kamala Harris's hand.
Yeah. And
he didn't even try. He didn't even try to fake it off. He's like, I'm not shaking. I'm literally not going to shake your hand.
Yeah, and one of the things that killed me about that was you hear people on the right making all kinds of excuses as to why. Oh, because he had a cane. So you have a cane, you can't switch hands, you know. And then someone actually played a clip of him shaking, I think it was Pence's hand back in.
Yeah, he's intentional. His face says it. I don't know. His face just looked like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's terrible. I mean, talk about a sore winner, right?
Oh boy.
That's what it is.
But he's on the side of the person that's coming in.
He's a Republican, yeah.
Oh.
His wife is a Republican senator. Yeah.
Yeah, that's intentional, man. That's intentional.
I thought that was really
disrespectful.
And the VP she handled it well, and she recovered really quick when she realized it, and she just
not gonna shake.
She just kind of smiled and just continued, you know.
Yeah. Wow. Yo, we live in an ugly world.
Sore winners. Imagine you win it and you're acting like a surly loser. Like oh.
You're in. It's your turn.
Yeah.
What is it to just shake somebody's hand?
Exactly. Let me see what else. I was about to check my notifications here. Let me see. Let's see, where is it? Okay, so I think we did talk about this on Monday. I was talking about the HMPV virus that was
circulating
in China. Let's just hope we don't have a repeat of 20. I guess you could say 2019/2020.
Well, somebody says this is not the flu, this is COVID. I saw somebody say something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. They it's. I just hope we get through this year without all the craziness and all that stuff that we had to deal with back in 2020. It's like I said, if anyone had told me that we were going to have to deal with that kind of stuff, you know, have lockdowns and all that, like these movies we've seen over the years. I mean, I'm sure you've seen some of those movies, and you're probably
that's why I tell you they show us, and then it happens after. Look at Contagion. Had we paid attention to Contagion in 2011, 2020 would have never caught us the way it did.
Hey, go right ahead.
Good morning, caller.
Yeah, good morning, Kortensia.
How are you?
Giving God thanks, girl. I've a lot to give God thanks for, you know.
Amen.
We live in uncertain times, you know.
Yes,
they've all been uncertain, but it become much more crucial now.
Yep.
When you were talking about Dr. Duke setting aside some things on the back burner, I was surprised to see he put the geothermal there.
On the back burner?
Yes. So we'll deal with that later. Because they were talking about all of the things they're doing, what they're going to do in St. Kitts. Now, when it comes to the health insurance and the social security, everything was worked out before, as he actually said it was sorted out. I think it was St. Augustine campus, UWI, when Hamilton was there. They went in and they said, they're going to take same story. He now confessed that he had no intention of putting in both of them. But while we're busy saving children, we're allowing the youths and the adults to die. When we say that the majority of the people who are taking have cancer, we do not have the facility to treat them beyond the what they get. Some of them need different things. Then they have to go all the way down to Colombia or Santo Domingo, America, if they have anybody there. But the majority, because of the high cost, just have to make up the mind and say, well, I might as well just get ready to die. So you're saving the children and allowing the parents to die. Of course, there have to be premiums, and the problem isn't so difficult, We are now paying national insurance premiums for thousands of civil servants, You transfer that to the national health insurance. So, they can't. Our people have got to learn to sacrifice for what is good for them.
So,
go ahead.
How about, let's say the government decides to, since the national one can't start, right? How about the government giving the other insurance entities, or instead of giving us monies like that we're going to use in other avenues, direct the money to the insurance company, so at least they give us a start, and then we just pay.
Yeah, but you see the trouble. I don't have insurance here.
I do.
All right. 100,000 what? 100,000 can't even give you treatment at Geneva.
Yeah, because when you get sick, money fly out the door.
Nobody have no sympathy for you, when you're sick.
Your money
you're not
done.
like the woman. You have to go to look for Jesus to touch him on his garment.
Indeed.
Because she reached there after she had spent all that she had.
And nobody could cure
the
her.
doctors took all and they said, well, it don't make no sense to come back, because
we can't do anything.
You can't pay. They don't put it somebody say, well, you might as well go give your heart to the Lord.
Yeah. Because you might be going home soon.
Going home or die.
Yep.
And something else I was saying, some people may not like it. Right now, supply and demand determine price, right?
Of course. Business.
The demand for funeral services is very high.
Yeah, because people are dying.
Has the price of these caskets and the services gone down?
But I know a lot of people are moving to cremation now.
Yeah, because cremation
it's
is cheaper. I think
but
like 3,000.
Yeah, but they'll find a way to jack that up too, I'm sure.
Yeah, once the
when
demand
they find
becomes,
that the coffin not selling.
Yeah.
Some of these coffins, somebody tell me they cost like 200 US in the States and whatever.
What?
15,000. You know what I mean? Supply and demand supposed to determine the price too. I don't understand this thing. You can't get national health insurance. If you go to social services, the most they give is 5,000 US. You know that?
Yeah.
That can't even buy plane ticket. I think I used to have a cancer thing. I think they're trying to resurrect it.
What?
You have to go to Trinidad or some other place. A lot of people going to Colombia.
So Antigua
now.
doesn't have the same. Yeah, a lot of people are heading to Colombia for real, and Colombia is
because,
soon going to realize.
I think I heard on the radio that some investors supposed to restart the cancer center
In Antigua? Yeah, Antigua had a good one. Antigua even had a hospice For those who weren't.
So I'm telling you.
Mm-hmm.
But I suppose they don't have enough clients. Yes, so here we are stuck. So look, every morning I listen to this death announcement, and I say, I want to know if it doesn't bother anybody other than me.
Maybe we're not listening. I've not paid attention to that.
Sometimes you hear 1 dozen death announcement. I mean, this thing is grievous. And then you hear most of them die of cancer.
But Miss Henry, do you really think once we hear that's what we have, that we should really invest our monies, knowing that sometimes we may not?
Yeah, but the insurance companies themselves are in collusion. I had medical insurance for years. I'm not usually sick. I don't claim, even when I had to use eye drops. I buy them, I don't claim. When I be 75, you understand? They say, well, it ceased. By the time all you're living off of your Social Security, have what little pension you have. So whatever treatment you need, well, you might as well go and buy a plot up the cemetery. This thing is serious, you know. They have to start it. As somebody said, one of you said, we have all of this money that we're throwing around. Put on the national health insurance as a start, maybe 30 million.
But shouldn't we, I mean, let's be real here. Shouldn't we all ante up and pay a little more tax to help?
No, you make you pay premiums.
No. Meaning, why can't we all pay a little more tax and we have a nice, solid, universal healthcare system?
Yeah, but in the meantime, look.
I don't mind paying.
All of these shows around here.
Yeah.
A similar thing. It is true that the Social Security contribution will go up, but not by so much. I heard Antigua was last week, I think, or the week before, when they increased theirs. Do something. I don't know how people are in charge of health, and every time you turn around, people dying and begging.
The thing I don't get, this approach, this insurance approach, isn't it just best if the system works where you go to the hospital, you get the treatment, and you don't have to pay because you're paying. Because in Canada that's the way it works. You go to the hospital,
Yeah, but some people could pay.
No, I understand that obviously, and of course, if you want to have, say a private thing on top of that, and you can afford it, that's fine. But what I'm saying, let's say, okay, what are we paying now? Like what, 8% or?
You mean
in terms of when we get our salaries?
Buy some medical insurance.
Yeah, I'm just saying this approach, the insurance approach, I find, I don't know, I find it questionable. My thing is, isn't it better? You have a system where the government, increases the tax, and that money goes to having a nice solid healthcare system where we have, we have all the other thing that needs to happen is that they need to really go out of their way to incentivize medical specialization so that you don't have everybody coming back being a GP.
But you see, the trouble is, remember some of them have had to borrow from development bank, even though we say it free to go Cuba in order to live above, right? To be able to eat. They go with loans. So it will require for them to get a higher increase in the loan. And then they would need to go. Even some of the countries saying, look, until you pass the Caribbean medical examination, you cannot work inside the hospital. So that they are forced to go either to Jamaica to try and qualify.
But you see,
they go to the U.S.
This is what I'm saying. If we are serious, if the government is serious, and then this would go a long way towards getting us out of this gimme mindset where we want stuff and we don't want to pay for it.
Well,
I am perfectly.
That is what leaders do for us.
I am,
You're a father,
yeah,
right?
exactly.
You're a father.
Yeah.
And my choice, I mean. They want this, I want that, so excuse me. Mommy, you mean, you know? You got it. What has that got to do with it? No, they are adults. They appreciate it. So I'm saying until you help people to be responsible, whether you win or you lose, but as you said, the highest priority among our political parties and people is winning, and our people are no better off. Even this 250, I was saying, rather than go that route, all who owe Skelec send the money straight to Skelec. All who owe water send it there. And all who owe NHC send the money there rather than you going next they're going to buy rice to sell rice to the neighbor.
Miss Henry, you haven't answered the question I'm asking. Are you against how much? Let's say we pay what 12, 11, I don't know. Are you against paying, say, 18% of your salary, or some other percentage that goes toward universal health care regime, where the government builds up?
Those who have a salary.
Huh?
How you deal with those who don't have a salary?
Well, no, but obviously the system would cover them as well. It's not about insurance. It's about having a healthcare system that takes care of everyone. Forget the insurance.
Where the premiums come in. The
No,
premiums will be deducted from your pay.
Well, I wouldn't call it a premium. Let's just say you're helping to build out a robust healthcare system. I don't like the insurance approach. I don't really like. People can go and get. I prefer.
But it is national insurance. It is, you know, that's what it is. Whatever you call it.
Okay,
The
yeah,
point is this. The point is this.
For example, I don't think people should be going to the hospital and saying, "Oh, pay this up front and then we're gonna give you back." No, just go and you get the treatment. You're sick. You shouldn't have to be worrying about. You see what I'm saying?
I understand your point because on poor people it is even harder. But even some of the poor people are buy a little medical insurance.
Yeah, but if you're using.
But she's still.
Okay, they're
Miss
cash
Henry,
strapped.
you're
Where
still,
they're gonna get money from to buy it? That's why I said maybe. Whoever is in could give them a start and then they just pay, because we have to find an economical way for everyone to survive.
Even the people who Miss Henry, you're missing the point.
How will you make them continue to pay?
Miss Henry,
Maybe it could be salary deductions.
Miss
like
Henry.
Jamsta
That is where they're called premium, but it's the same thing. We are saying the same thing.
But what I'm saying is, if most people are paying more towards funding universal healthcare, the people who can't pay will still be covered because everyone is paying.
Yeah.
So that's all I'm saying.
You will have to define at what point you can pay.
Well, obviously.
It's three different things, you know.
No, listen. I don't care whether you're rich or not. Everyone should be covered because
Talk
obviously.
about
Well, yeah,
willingness to
but
pay.
obviously the people with means, if they want to pay for, like some private choice, that they can do that. That's fine.
I understand what you're saying, you know. But all I am saying, you call the premiums, it's the same as a tax. All right, you start with the low one. Since they have to pay Social Security benefits, right? Contribution. Then they cannot be equal. You can't say 18% on Social Security and 18% on national health.
So you're saying it should be progressive then?
It can be scaled.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah, sure, that's fine too. That's fine, absolutely.
Yeah, but to say, well, I can't do this because of that. To me, you are not doing what you're supposed to do.
That's fine.
People are just
Someone here says most people can't afford to eat healthy. That's an issue as well. I mean,
if they keep out of the Chinese place, they'll have to start eating and grease eating. They would live longer.
Also, you consider that I think the previous government removed VAT from food, and yet you'll argue that some of the things that people may want to eat that that could be considered healthy. Maybe some people.
The unhealthy stuff are cheaper and taste better.
But you know, some people say
the
they
healthy
don't
stuff
cook
are
no
very
more.
expensive. Yeah.
Some people say, I don't cook no more and I buy a Chinese. I bet you the Chinese put in vegetables, they're going to still want to pay.
No, but the Chinese.
Look what they're paying for. Look what they're paying for.
But the Chinese have vegetable dishes.
I know they have good places.
But most people don't. Most people
Everybody
don't.
just want the quick rice and the fried chicken on the side. Yeah.
Yeah, I love my broccoli.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
But all I'm saying, it should be priority. Seeing you have this rapid increase in the deaths, do something. Because they're going to still reach out to the government for help. Or who die and they can't bury their relatives will have to reach out to the same government to help bury them.
But this is what I'm saying. You know, if you have a holistically planned healthcare system, all those things would be taken care of.
Yeah.
Right?
They should, and I believe they're built into this. Look, come and discuss the thing. And stop delaying the social security thing. We're pushing it down.
I mean, I guess there's a reason. Maybe some journalist needs to ask the reason why they're kicking it.
You don't think? Let's go back to the 250.
Yeah, we have another medical doctor not addressing what I think should be a priority. You know.
They're playing politics.
Oh boy.
Playing politics because you're not saying these people. They want pay for the X, so they ain't want to carry no load for themselves.
I'd just like to hear what his reason is for not for kicking.
Well, he said there's going to be an increase in the contribution.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with that.
So he can't carry two. But you should, as I suggested.
Carry two? I don't understand.
From the CBI funds, right? Let's start here.
Maybe.
You could say from the CBI funds for the first 6 months. Right? Mm-hmm. But you must register and you must choose your premiums.
I just think that our government is failing its duty to explain civic responsibility to the citizens.
It's just that, and when I send you don't like poor people, I was born in the area when everybody was poor. And poor, as America said, we were poor. You got to make good decisions. We understand what I mean?
We have to get people to move away from this mindset that says, the government must pay for everything, and I shouldn't have to pay for anything.
You can tell me.
At least from a tax standpoint.
Listen to this one. 3 person in the house is working for $5,000 or less. You're giving them $250 a month. It sounds like a good giveaway. Only the poor and the destitute are supposed to get that. And it should be done like how we do the PAP, by household, not individual.
How do you means test that though? Because most people
they have to register for the PAP, you know.
Yeah, but
they have to say the income.
But most
they have
people
to show the expenditure, whatever.
I think most people don't want the government nosing around in their business. So means testing could be a problem.
It's simple. Right? If I don't want the government to nose in your business, then you cannot access the things. That's why look even the child thing, Aspire. They said they have about nearly 10,000 qualifying students or children. Only 3,000 something or so. Even the PAP, some people who really need it. Oh, I don't want nobody get in my business. They'll keep you and your business and your poverty to yourself.
Oh, boy.
No, you got to, as you say, responsibility. Oh, I ain't going to social services. I told a lady, the boy did well in school. He wants to go to CFBC. I ain't got no money, so I said, we'll go up to Victoria Road. Oh, they want to know all your business. So you're now going to affect your child's future with your poor poverty pride. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's an issue. I mean, it's a small society, so, you know.
All right. You got to put your child interest first. You think people don't know you're poor? People know you're poor.
Cash strap.
Really,
Let's call it cash strap.
My children could have come first. Who want to know? No. Now you know you could make your contribution to me. That's all. That's the way we see it.
But I like your idea. I like your idea about a progressive tax regime to pay for
the
healthcare system. That makes sense.
You want radiation? You could buy radiation around here.
Nope, you gotta go.
You gotta go to Trinidad.
Yep.
But a lot more needs to be done on the incentivizing specialization, though, because there's no reason why people can't be coming here from other islands to help let's say to help to offset the cost of maybe some of these people not wanting to specialize.
Plan, you know.
Yeah, not wanting to specialize because they feel as though we don't have the economies of scale to make it worthwhile.
I used to go to Barbados, right?
Yeah.
To see an ophthalmologist in a place. I think it's Bellevue's car. The specialist there one day wake up and my foot was kind of limping, and I got to go to a neurologist. I mean, it's everything they got there, you know. Yeah. The doctor I went to for my eye, he owned his own surgery.
Wow. Oh, really? Okay.
Doctor, yeah.
Right. So clearly,
I think he passed. He owned his own surgery, so his office over in the surgery over there. And he said glass. I mean, the whole works.
Yeah,
he has modern machines, you know.
But you see, part of the problem is our mentality. We're not. We're always.
We wouldn't buy insurance too.
Well, also meaning we're also very outward-looking people. Where we always think. I mean, when was the last time you heard somebody coming here for treatment for something? It's always us going somewhere. Well, we need.
I think people from some of the islands maybe.
I know, but my point is, I mean, you always hear people, we're going to Colombia, you're going to Trinidad, you're going to Jamaica, you're going to Barbados, you're going to even Antigua.
What is the cost in Colombia?
I have no idea, but it's probably cheaper, I would imagine.
Got to be Adigo Santo Domingo?
Yeah, and that too. So, before I wrap, just to say, I mean, we have to change our mindset where, for example, one of the things that can offset the cost of specialization is perhaps the government can undertake that too, but I mean a medical tourism sort of communication campaign where just like we market St. Kitts as a tourism destination, we market our medical facilities and so on. So that people can start coming here, so it makes it worthwhile for people to specialize.
But there's another way too.
What?
No, when Dr. Nisbet was here, he had some of the more advanced equipment.
That's the eye guy, right?
Yeah, I'm down the way.
Yeah.
Going back. But people are saying it. Now you have the clinic. At least they should try and give the clinic the most up-to-date equipment. All kind of things they have in the one is to go in Barbados.
Yeah, all that is part of it, yeah. But Miss Henry, we gotta wrap.
At least equip one of your institution with it, you know.
Yeah.
Somebody said they went for a CT scan. They're saying that they're not up and running. You have to go down by the Baptist.
Yeah.
What do you say you have any equipment? I suppose you got to go monkey farm still.
Yeah.
You understand what we're doing?
Yeah. Okay, Miss Henry, we gotta close it down. Now we have to.
Have a good day. Have a good day.
Yeah,
everybody.
you too.
And look,
you have a nice day.
Go and buy medical insurance. Go and buy your own medical insurance.
Okay.
At least you're gonna get something.
Yep, for sure.
All right then.
Okay.
Right, thank you. Have a good day. God bless you. God bless the nation.
You too.
Amen.
And all of us need to go and pray.
Okay.
All right then. God bless you.
Okay. All right. Bye. So, we have to discuss this tomorrow. There's a carnival. I'm just seeing this carnival experience survey. I guess tomorrow we can talk about that. So we're gonna have a quiz tomorrow.
I can put one together because
okay.
Our good friend should be in tomorrow. Good morning, Jay Black.
Yeah.
So I'll put one together.
So you don't want me to bring that thing? Remember that one I was supposed to bring that
the
we
box?
never. There's another one.
Okay, well bring the other one and I'll still put one together.
Okay. So
yeah, because the box, I don't want it to be too. I don't want to be like Kim Jong-un. Yeah. I want to keep it.
I don't even know what that means.
I don't want to have to ban the box. You know, he's banning everything Western.
Yeah.
I don't want it to become too Western. I want us to learn more about our neighbors and ourselves. So, yeah.
Hey,
yeah.
It was like, bro, leave the pawn.
Oh, boy. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm sure he probably watches porn. So, bunch of hypocrites. Anyway.
On that note, I will say to everybody to have a fantastic Thursday and see you tomorrow, Friday. Jay promises to be in, so we are looking forward to that.
Yeah.
And have a great
and
Thursday.
Then we take a look at this carnival survey thing. Yeah, I just sent it to the chat. I just saw it, so we can discuss. Okay, I'm gonna. Oh, okay. So I'm gonna do the survey. Good. So I'm gonna do the survey, and then tomorrow we can discuss it. Yeah, I have to do this for sure. So, folks, maybe go to the Carnival website. They have a survey here that they're doing for Carnival Experience Survey. So people might want to do this because Carnival is Sugar Mass is going from strength to strength, and we wanted to get to the level where people look at it like crop over, or even Trinidad or Antigua or.
And as Miss Henry say, I see St. Lucia talking about it. As Miss Henry say, we had to keep the vibe going. We can't wait till October or November, December to hear Sting Singling. We gotta play the Sting Singling in between, because we know Carnival is done now and nobody's gonna bother with it. We're gonna hear everything, all the other music leading up to the 27th Music Festival, but it's gonna be lost. Maybe until that night again, then it's gonna be lost again until the last quarter of the year.
I did play some yesterday. I put a lot in there.
But she made me realize, boy, we really talk away our culture until the time is right, huh?
Yeah. But it apparently happens in the other islands too, so it's not just us. I'm not saying that's an excuse.
Listen, let me tell you, right?
Because I hear I speak to Trinis and they tell me the same thing.
That their music but we play it all the time, and other islands play it all the time. I've been to Mexico twice, and I've had Bajans on the trip, and those people play their music. Some of the persons from here would try to incorporate our music, but then our music disappears because majority of them are from the bigger island. So then they bring their music back in again, and it's like, we try to introduce it, but they don't understand the time. And even if we try to teach them the moves, so they make sure their music reigns supreme. So we gotta keep ours up too. Yeah, what you say? So on that note, I gotta go. You gotta go. Everybody's gotta go. Have a great day, y'all. Thanks for tuning in as usual. Mario over there in Nevis. Thank you. Cleo. Thank you. Everybody that tuned in today. Thank you. Cathy. DeGuaya. Morning. Thank you.
And join us tomorrow. The Black is going to be joining us tomorrow. The Black will be back. If the Black doesn't join us,
I'm going to beat him.
Yes.
So I hope he's listening and hearing my threat this morning.
So the Black, we're looking for you tomorrow.
Yes, we are.
All right. Have a nice day.
All right.